Hey guys, welcome to Amazing Productions. So today, we're diving into something that's, well, it's a total revolution in how we create things online. We're talking about a world where you don't have to be a coding genius to build something truly incredible. There's this massive shift happening right now, and it's all powered by AI. It's promising something kind of wild, to take your ideas and turn them into actual working products, almost instantly. I mean, imagine going from just a thought in your head to a fully functional app, sometimes with just a single sentence. It's pretty mind-bending. And this quote right here, it just perfectly captures that feeling, you know? It's like seeing a magic trick for the first time. It's so mind-blowing that it forces you to step back and ask a really fundamental question about how we create things. Seriously, just think about that for a second. What if the only thing standing between you and a new piece of software was your ability to describe what you want? Well, platforms like Base 44 and Dora, they're built on that exact idea. You just describe your vision, and the AI does the heavy lifting, handling all that complex code in the background. This is such a powerful concept. It's basically democratizing development, right? The barrier to entry isn't about how good you are at coding anymore. It's about how good your imagination is. So, what does this new world of creation actually look like in practice? So, let's peek inside this new AI toolbox. The whole landscape of these creation tools is just exploding. It covers everything from making 3D models from scratch to building out entire complex websites. You've got tools like Luma AI that can whip up artistic 3D videos from just a text prompt. Then there are platforms like Dora, where you can build and launch these incredible 3D animated websites without ever looking at a line of code. And then you have the really heavy hitters, like Base 44, which are designed to create a complete working app just from your words. And this isn't just about making things that look cool. We're talking about stuff that drives real business results. Okay, so take Dora, that 3D website builder. Research they've highlighted shows that by adding interactive 3D elements to a website, you can potentially boost customer conversion rates by a whopping 94%. And on top of that, the same research found that people are 44% more likely to actually add a product to their cart after they've played around with it in 3D. So yeah, these numbers prove we're not just talking about some fun gimmick. This is a fundamental change that can seriously impact the bottom line. But who's actually using these tools to get these kinds of results? You know, maybe the most exciting part of this whole revolution is seeing people who have zero, and I mean zero, coding background suddenly build a really sophisticated software to solve problems for their own businesses. Okay, so there's this incredible story from a Reddit user. They own a construction company and got quoted over £700 a month for some business software. For a small company, that's just way too much. So what did they do? They decided to try building their own solution using Base 44. And I mean, just look at this list. This isn't some simple little to-do app. We're talking about a super complex custom system that not too long ago would have cost a fortune and taken months to build. And this isn't just a one-off story either. There was another user, a cleaning company owner, who built their own time clock app that's saving them $200 every single month. So the takeaway here is that these tools are already creating real, tangible value for people who are completely locked out of software development before. But as with any brand new tech, the promise doesn't always quite match the reality just yet. Right, so while those success stories are super inspiring, if you take a look at user reviews on places like Product Hunt or Reddit, you start to see some, let's call them growing pains for these new platforms. This slide really nails the tension, doesn't it? You have the dream of just effortless creation, but then you have the reality of being an early adopter. People love how fast they can get a first version up and running, but then they hit these roadblocks, like wasting paid credits because the AI has a bug, or dealing with unresponsive customer support, or finding out there are no real integrations. And this term export lock-in is a really big deal. It's a major concern for anyone who builds something successful on these platforms. They start to worry about being stuck. Like, what happens if they need to scale or the service jacks up its prices? They can't easily move their code or their data somewhere else. So where does all this leave us? So the rise of these tools, it isn't necessarily about replacing developers or making code totally obsolete. It's really more about amplifying creativity and what's possible for, well, everyone. The general feeling among creators seems to be this: a developer who really knows their stuff, the fundamentals of web development, but can also master these new AI tools. That person is going to be able to build bigger and faster than ever before. They basically become a super developer. And this really gets to the heart of how the necessary skills are changing. The focus is shifting away from just writing lines of code and more towards being able to explain your vision so clearly that an AI can actually build it for you. In a way, your prompt is the new code. And a good prompt? It's specific, it gives context, and it clearly lays out what you want. Which brings us to our final thought. For maybe the first time in history, the tools are so accessible that the main limit to what we can build is just our own imagination. So the real question isn't about the technology anymore, it's about us. When anyone can be a builder, what incredible, useful, and maybe even world-changing things are we all going to create?